Well, now would be a good time to cliffhanger. I'm also, again, very intrigued by the potentials of the guys that we just drafted. So we're going to march on. Again, we might not get the road to the show tonight. We shall see as I get a trade offer from the Royals for TJ Friedl, who's from Pennsylvania. Home Run Derby in Cleveland. No participants for us this year. Jamar Johnson made it, though. Good for him. Let's see, in terms of our All-Star representatives this year, Henry Caballero, the All-Star starter. Let's see, American League. Chat once again has Derek Hope. He's down to an 80 overall. He's dropped off a bit, but he is now a two-time All-Star. That's a bit concerning. He's starting to fall a smidge. What else do you guys have here? Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 16 home runs, 66 RBIs, and a 295 average. He is down to a 94 overall. Still has an 891 OPS, and he is now an 8-time All-Star. He got 3 years left on his deal as well. Team option for that final year. Gavin Lux has made the All-Star game. He loves playing in Vancouver. 924 OPS. He is having a career season. He wants that big money contract in the offseason. Now a 2-time All-Star. Spencer Steer. Oh my God, Wyatt Langford. Jesus. Spencer Steer has made the All-Star game. 15 home runs, 75 RBIs, a 956 OPS. For his first All-Star appearance. And who else in right field but Juan Soto with a 355 average and 386 at-bats. He is down to a 96. Again, 3 years left on his deal with an option on the last year. He is now a 10-time All-Star, Juan Soto. In the National League, Miguel Quinones has made it for the Mermen. His first ever All-Star appearance. Gabriel Moreno has made it. That I wasn't expecting. But Moreno has made the All-Star game. AJ, he wasn't in this draft either. Let's see. That's it for me. Wow. Gabe Moreno in the picture. Fair enough. All right, chat. Let's start signing these draft picks, shall we? Gary Gamble is going to be unreal for you guys. You still got to build up interest on some people, though. Perez has signed. Lou Duff Man has declined. Evan Rodriguez has accepted. And from there, you guys need to build up interest on people. For myself, Matt Seaver, the first overall pick. I hope I made the right choice in going after him instead of taking that unbelievable reliever. But I already have a strong bullpen. Seaver, welcome in. Jamie Diaz, welcome in. Mario Acevedo, welcome. Good start for me in terms of signing people. Dante Arabu declines. What about Reggie Sabell? Also declines. Of course, it's the fucking mid players that are being a pain in the ass. Del VR signs, and then John Cash. I am not allowed to sign John Cash. Again, he's not from an eligible nation for me, so I'm down to 2 from this class. 35 wins for me this year as well. Dante Arabu has signed, and then Reggie Sabell will get the rest of the money. There we go. My draft class is done. For chat, you can now go for Kerry Gamble, who declines that initial offer. Does that make our class better by default? In some ways, yes. Because you are likely to end up with more players. No, Flo. So I literally ran out of eligible players to draft. So I just took like the lowest guy on the board. And yeah, selected him, and then I just won't sign him. So, literally ran out of players. Jose Urquidy on his way to the Nationals from the Cardinals for a guy named Juarez and Blanco. Of course, doesn't show potentials for the prospects that get moved anymore, so it's tough to judge a trade outside of name value. See, for Gamble, still declines. He's holding out for money. Hitchcock will hold out for a little bit of money, too. So, you guys got plenty of time, though. Plenty of time. You guys get a trade offer from the Guardians. Third baseman Tyler Freeman for the center field. Oh, man, Weber's already gone up by 2 points. You guys can't move him anymore. There's no way. Yeah, Tyler Freeman's been playing in AAA. He's not a bad player to have at third base. He's not that big of an upgrade on Slaughter. Slaughter is declining still. But, yeah, no, Marcus Weber's going to be great for you guys. 59 and 44 for the A's. This could be the first playoff appearance. Kerry Gamble has signed. Verge you can hold off on, and then Dell, you need to start working on him. There we go. We'll see what happens. Get a trade offer from the Giants. Oh, God. A shit catcher for shit shortstop. How's Hiroki been? I don't want to talk about it. Get a trade offer from the White Sox. Griffin McGarry. I can't take him. He's been very good. No. He's probably mid-90 overall at this point. Virgil Hitchcock accepts. Gonna work on the other two from there. You guys get a trade offer from the White Sox. Scott Maloney. That one might be worth it. Maloney's 21B and a 60 for reliever Gavin Hollowell. Now, again, Maloney will eventually make it, but he's behind both Horton and Weber. Gavin Hollowell at 32. He's still got some arbitration years left. He's been solid this year. Upgrade the bullpen, get rid of kind of your weakest center fielder. Chat seems to be on board. They're going to take that deal. Gavin Hollowell on his way to Vancouver. That's a pretty good deal there. Do not have too many players on the active roster. Who can we send down for you guys? Shout out to a 70 overall Tyrone Ray. You might as well just leave him in AAA for the rest of the year and just let Gary Sanchez continue to be Gary Sanchez, basically. So it is going to have to be a pitcher that's dropped. So it makes sense to probably be Loaisaga. How's he done this year? Kind of mid. How's Clay Holmes done? Clay Holmes has been terrible, so there you go. Down to AAA. You're good to go. You guys also get a trade offer from the Guardians. Hell of a name, an old Woosuck Go, but you're not allowed to have him. You're not allowed to have the suck. Let's see. Gerald Flores has declined. What an idiot. You're still waiting on Michael Dell. Oh my God, that potential for Flores. Whew. That's looking like a hell of a third-round pick for chat. Jesus Christ. I get a trade offer from the Cubs for Max Fried. I'm not going to be able to take it. He's from Cali. Also get a trade offer from the Rockies. I can't take Justin Steele. You guys just beat Baltimore 17-2. You're going to make the playoffs this year. That's insane. Flores has declined again. What about the Farmer and the Dell? Dell accepts, so you'll be able to get Flores the max offer in 2 days, and you'll be good to go. First baseman Charles O'Connor for catcher Ronald Hernandez. Not worth it. Hernandez gets paid way too much. Tyrone Ray is just as good. I'll just decline that for you guys. That's an obvious one. Big shout out to Rob, by the way. 64 months. My God, the Nintendo. I'll finally come back on screen, by the way. Shout out to Rob. Appreciate you. Welcome. Corey Howell, Illinois. So no Gavin Lux trade for you guys. despite best efforts. And Flores, it wasn't a guarantee, but he does sign. So let's take a look, everybody, at our draft class here. We'll look at mine first because I got a feeling that your draft class is fucking insane. What do I got here? He's as advertised. 22B and a 73 starting overall. He's as advertised. I know the closer is probably better now, but that is the type of player that I desperately needed in left field. Jamie Diaz, not a bad prospect. 59 overall at 18, B potential. I'm good with that. Acevedo's overall is low at his age, but he might be tradable. Arabu didn't hit that C potential. That's unfortunate. 69 overall at 21. Del VR sucks. Sabel sucks. And then, of course, I could not sign Johnny Cash. Decent draft for me. Decent. Yeah. Could have gone better. Could have gone better. For chat, Kerry Gamble. 22A and a 74 with the 6th overall pick. That's a tremendous selection. Virgil Hitchcock, good pick. 57 overall at 18, B potential, good pick for Verge. Luis Perez, oh man, he looked like he was going to be sick. Oh man, that sucks. Wasn't he the guy that was like guaranteed a good potential? C potential 1859, what the hell? No, it was Flores, and there he is, 19A and a 51. So Perez, he's okay because he's younger. Flores, that's a good pick. Dell, it's a good pick. I mean, long way to go, but a good project. Lou Duff, Evan Rodriguez, very But, pretty damn good draft for chat to get Flores. Gamble did okay with some of the Bs as well. Not bad, chat, not bad. You guys going to win a World Series before we know it, and then it's just a matter of what the hell do I do with my team? Let's take a look around the league here. There's a chance it was another rough draft. It certainly was for Seattle. Texas, Tommy Riley. Good pick. Nobody else, though. Atlanta. Ooh. Kevin Pinero, terrible overall. Big-time project. De La Rosa's better. De La Rosa's a pretty good steal. 2 okay picks there. My Merman, we already looked. The Mets. Oh, my God. Oh, the poor Mets. Whew. Philadelphia, William Ruley, good pick. Todd McCullough, okay pick. Not bad. Manuel McGowan project. Decent draft for Philly. Washington, Rincon's good. And that's about it, isn't it? Yikes. Chicago, Connor Durham, good pick. Jared East, fantastic pick. Richard Robles, good pick. Pitching help coming to Chicago. Cincy, Brian Flores, good pick. Teddy Everett, great pick. Decent job there by Cincy. Milwaukee, Doug Morales, good pick. They just missed it. Dude, they had 4 guys with a 79 potential. Jesus Christ, that's unlucky. Pittsburgh, Bryce Duarte, good pick. Edgar Marte, good pick. Jose Gomez, that's a great pick. 49 overall, but still, that late to get an A. St. Louis, emphasis on the L in Louis. Cooper's okay, but he's 23. That's a rough draft for them. Arizona, Greg Mobley's okay. Not a good draft for the D-backs. That's okay, because their center fielders are busy sword fighting in the outfield. So, it wasn't enough. Now, this guy was drafted before you guys picked, so don't worry about it. It wasn't enough for me to lose streamer versus chat with you guys controlling the Rockies. It wasn't enough for me to not get the next Ichiro Suzuki, who went to Colorado. Then they keep adding players like Norris Webster. The fuck? Well, I know who you guys are going to meet in the World Series. Unbelievable. You're losing streamer versus chat to the CPU-controlled Rockies. Correct. They also got Matt Montenegro, who is solid. Unbelievable, Colorado. Jesus Christ. The Dodgers, BJ Tipere, who is very good. That's a very good pick at second base. And Joe Braley, big-time project. San Diego. Oof. Not a great draft in San Diego. San Francisco, Napoleon Mock. Great name, decent pick. Not much else. Baltimore, Everett Williams. Jesus Christ. 75 overall at 18 years old, 88 potential. That's obviously a great pick. Michael Scott Sterling is also good. Pedro Bob Villa is solid. Greg McCoy, solid. That's a great class for Baltimore. Wow. Williams went third. Boston, Kevin Smith, good pick. Ryan Page, the overall is a bit low, but he's an A, so it kind of balances out. The Yankees, I mean, Sandoval's got a good starting overall, but Ricky Payton, that's still a good pick. Tampa, oh my, Tampa. Kurt Kellenberger is okay. Overall is a bit low at his age. Jesus Montana is a big-time project. Yikes. Toronto, Lamar Costello's okay. Gabe Terrell's okay. Not bad, not terrible, not great. White Sox. Even in this reality, the White Sox are just going to get completely outclassed by Colorado. Cleveland. I knew he was that good. I was 4 picks away from getting him and the outfielder. I already have a good bullpen. I needed that outfielder. If he was the only guy available, I mean, obviously we would have taken him. But I don't know if I'll regret it or not, to be honest. I mean, I needed that outfielder. Terrible first pick, though. And then they got Fernando Guillen, who is one of the best steals we've seen in this game so far. 18 years old, 60 overall, A potential. I mean, that's a great class just off of those two alone. And Lord knows they didn't get anybody else. Detroit, Lonnie Valentine. Good pick. Good pick. Kansas City. I mean, great starting overall for Walt Kyle. Potential just missed. Rivera. Good pick. Okay. For KC. Minnesota. Ooh. Peter Dewitt is pretty good. Brett DeLeon. Pretty good. JJ Faraday is okay. Will McFadden, project. Not bad for many. Houston, oh man, Juarez, great overall, terrible potential. Hal Funk, great pick. Not much else for them. Angels with Francisco Montoya, good pick. Michael Connell, good pick. Phil Lynch, good pick. Logan Chavez, fantastic pick. God damn. Good job for the Angels. So there we go. That is a full look at everything. You know, the Colorado Rockies. Four more years after this. 2035. 2035. I can make it to 2035. I could make it to 2035. Like, look at who they already have in left, and they look at who they already have in left, and they just added that fucking third baseman. I hate Colorado so much. Well, now that I'm sad over NHL 24 conversations. Allow me to be sad over baseball, because that's what this franchise mode has done to me consistently, which is a really, really big shame. But that's where we're at. For the Mermen, again, didn't end up getting that elite level pitcher again for the second draft in a row, who just fucking disappeared. But we each had a couple of decent drafts. I'm not exactly on pace to make the playoffs. Chat, though, it's looking pretty good. It's not guaranteed, but chat's looking like they could make the playoffs for the very first time. Before we get down to it, though, contract extensions are going to be a big thing for both of us this year. If it's a BCBU final, does Boston destroy it? So probably, yeah. Okay, you guys have no reason to sign Gary Sanchez to $1.7 million, that's for sure. Gavin Lux. His contract is coming out. Shout out to Butterworks for the follow. I prefer Buttersworth. Just douse the pancakes in syrup. LFC, what's going on? That was a freaking stressful game today. So with Gavin Lux, you guys have a choice, right? 1, 2, 3 years, or you try the qualifying offer again. But man, the qualifying offer really only seems to work for dudes who are 90 plus, and he's just missing the cut. So 18 million bucks for him, 21 for a single year. You guys are going to have to decide what to do with Gavin Lux. Of course, you don't have to decide right now. And then pitching wise, obviously you'll be keeping Derek Hope, because this guy is outstanding. And yeah, is willing to take a nice contract too. You might as well keep Clay Holmes if you can get him for something half decent. Carnage, what's up? Hey, you can wait for Clay Holmes. Might drop his price. Hollowell, who you traded for, has those arbitration years. So, I mean, sign him for dirt cheap. Ray Gutierrez is a young player of yours. So, yeah, the biggest question is just what do you choose to do with Gavin Lux? Because obviously you're going to want to keep Yuri Perez. Yuri wants to be paid. Maybe Yuri Perez on a qualifying offer then, huh? Has he been worth $22 million? There's an argument. Look at the FIP ratings, the ERA over the last couple of years. This has been good, but has he been like $22 million good when you could do the qualifying offer? You know? That's the big question for Yuri Perez this year. Same for Dylan Cease. Christensen, you still have arbitration years on. So, I mean, this guy is going to be phenomenal. We don't know the qualifying offer yet until the end of the year. We are in the mid-season renegotiations. So, again, no decisions have to be made right now on those top three. You could wait it out. You could wait it out till the end of the year. Let's see. For myself, Wilson Contreras. How much money do you want? Way too fucking much. Did I do anything fun? No, I didn't do a damn thing today. It was great. After the incredibly busy start to the month I've had, I've just been able to be a mostly lazy person this month, which has been great. Yikes. Wheels, that's just basketball. Man, Kim has fallen off a cliff. Jesus. How much money do you want? Well, I'll be waiting in terms of re-signings until the end of the year. I can tell you that much. Shit. Juan Soto. Get Juan Soto. Alzolay. I did see New Era's April Fool's joke. I did. Brimless hats. Alzolay, just, man, all of my veterans are like, yeah, we want to go. And it's like, you can go ahead and go. That's fine by me. Let's see. Robert Fujita. The Fujita. Felipe Gonzalez is mine. It doesn't look like he's going to get any better. Take that. Mr. Orozco needs to be re-signed. Kodai is going to look for way too much money. Yeah. Ranger Suarez is going to look for way too much money. And Erod's going to look for way too much money. I'm about to lose a whole lot of veteran depth. A whole lot of it. Let's find out if chat is indeed heading to the playoffs for the very first time. You're really not all that far behind the pace that you had in Colorado. 72 and 64. Still second in the AL West, but now down in that third wild card spot, just 2 games ahead of the Astros and the Guardians, technically 2.5. Not a guarantee. It's going to be interesting. This is going to be close. Do those auto fixes. 4 games against the Angels, 50-50. 74 and 67. Now half a game out of a wild card spot. 3 games against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins the series. 2 games against the Dodgers, who take both. 4 games against Seattle, who win 3 out of 4. The A's are choking hard. 3.5 back of the Astros now. 3 games against Boston. Boston wins the series. 3 games against Seattle. You guys win the series 2 out of 3. This has been a rough go. 3 games out, but the magic number's 4. There is a real chance you guys have choked away a playoff spot. You got 3 games against Texas. Texas wins the series. You'd have to go perfect from here with the Astros losing their final 3. Or it's done. Technically their final 4. A single loss against the Angels ends your season, and there it is. There it is. Well, I thought we'd get playoffs for the very first time, but instead, chat's Vancouver A's absolutely choked over the last 2 months of the season to finish directly at 500. That's a rough go. The Mermen, 63, and I believe that's the first time I've ever finished with less than 100 losses in a season. So I'm happy about that. That was... Yeah, I mean, so a full look at August. I mean, that... Yeah, started off strong against the Mets. The middle of August was rough. And then September as well, just a rough collapse for the Vancouver A's. Let's take a look at the numbers for this season, though. Let's see. Wow, 238 hits for Juan. Jesus Christ. Say hello to the MVP, chat. Wow. In terms of the home runs, Juan Soto with 41, Steer 26, Vladdy 25, Cedon at 19. I mean, some good power in the lineup this year. 140 RBI for Juan Soto. Steer and Vladdy were both at least at 101. A 368 average for Juan Soto. Sposato had a phenomenal rookie year as well. What a season for Juan Soto. That is spectacular. Spencer Steer was great. Lux, Vladdy, I mean, you'd probably want more from him. Sposato had a great rookie year. Rafaela is... It was good. You always expect him to be better defensively. Pitching-wise, Yuri Perez had the most wins. 11 and 14 for David, 8 and 12 for both Harmon and Christensen. It looks like the pitching struggled down the stretch. 245 strikeouts for Cease. I mean, the lowest ERA for a starter was Cease. Then you had Perez. Nobody else was under a 4. So it looks like the pitching let the team down a little bit. particularly someone like Howie Elliott and Juan Baroa.
Oh, we're doing this again.
For the Mermen. Let's see what the Mermen are doing. Shout out to Papa Palpatine. Half a year on the 6 months. The Palpatine. Thank you very much for the resub. I hope you're doing well tonight. Thank you for supporting my face. My goodness. Rengifo, who is declining. Oh, God. 28 home runs apiece for Torres and Rengifo. Gomez and Garcia both at 20. That's not too bad. Garcia dropped by... Oh, boy. I hope Garcia's career isn't over. Could be. Big time torn ACL in the first year of a 5-year deal. Technically a 4+1. 83 RBIs for Rengifo. He was easily our best hitter this year in Atlantis. Yeah, Torres, William Contreras, the only two with at least an 800 OPS. Not amazing. Pitching-wise, Garcia and Suarez, 9 wins each. Ranger Suarez just took the money and gave the hell up, man. 4-14 for Kodai Senga with a 7.14 ERA. Beautiful. Beautiful. Bouncy, no, the Waluigi Road to the show is the only one that I'm running right now. Rough year. Rough year for the boys. That's okay. Let's take a look at the awards here. I hate Colorado with a passion. I hate Colorado with a passion. Your AL MVP, no surprise at all, Juan Soto. An ungodly season for Juan Soto. He finally gets his first MVP award after 10 All-Star appearances. And that's not the only bit of hardware that he wins here. But he gets that over Seager and Langford. Cy Young winners, Drew Thorpe. Dylan Cease finished third. Despite only being 13-10, it was the strikeouts for sure. But Drew Thorpe wins it. On the NL side, Colorado's just going to be a wagon, aren't they? Rhett Lauder, Anthony Solometo. Batting titles, Andy Otto, who's the other left fielder that they have, not even the guy that I want. Juan Soto, of course, wins it on the other side. Robert Sposato was third. Not a bad rookie season. He might have won Rookie of the Year. Reliever of the Year in the AL is Ian Hamilton. Yeah, I mean, the extra strikeouts. Yeah. NL is Camilo Doval. Can't disagree with that at all. He was fantastic. Guy you wants clearly wash is send to you, I agree. NL Rookie of the Year, David Sandlin. With a 6.62 ERA, he was Rookie of the Year. All right. Strikeouts are probably weighted a little bit too heavily for some of these awards still. American League, it goes to Esmil Valencia. Sposato somehow didn't finish top 3 despite the season he had for you guys. That's messed up. Soto does win his 3rd straight, at least, Hank Aaron Award. Josh Lowe wins it on the other side. Did we have any Gold Glove winners? Vladdy finished 2nd at first base. Gleyber Torres finished 2nd at 2nd base. Hey, Maikel Garcia in his torn ACL wins a Gold Glove at 3rd base. That might be the last thing he ever does. His career could be over. I have no idea. Rafaela was up there. Okay, still no real Gold Glove winners, but what a season for Juan Soto. Playoffs this year, Chicago, Kansas City, New York, Houston, Seattle, Minnesota. On the other side, Colorado, San Diego, St. Louis, Philadelphia, New York, and San Francisco. We'll see who ends up winning the World Series this year, as again, both of our teams have missed the playoffs. Kansas City and New York advance, as do San Diego and St. Louis. Rockies won MVP and Cy Young, couldn't win a division, and lost to the Padres, correct. San Diego, St. Louis, Kansas City, and Minnesota advance. Ooh, that's an interesting Final Four. None of these teams have had a crazy amount of success in this timeline. World Series is going to be St. Louis against Minnesota. Okay. Rooting for the Twins here. Rooting for the Twins. I'm a jinx. St. Louis Cardinals win the 2030 World Series sweeping. Oh, sweeping the Minnesota Twins. Yeah, hate to see it. Yeah, absolutely hate to see it, but poor Minnesota sports, right? Dominic Canzone wins the World Series MVP. A 375 average, no RBIs. That's insane. But sure. What's the rest of that Cardinals lineup look like? Dominic Calzone. Let's see. Kyle Tucker, Drew Gilbert, Chet Williams, Mason Wynn. That's a pretty good team. That's a pretty good team. Shout out to Tink Hentz. Victor Scott. It's a good team. It's a good team. 2030 comes to an end. We have still not had a single one of our teams make the playoffs, or either of our teams, in a single one of these seasons. You guys really should have broken that streak this year. Didn't happen. We'll move on, though. Let's see. You guys lose Robbie Ray and Michael Wacha. The Waka Waka. Erod and Ranger Suarez have both retired due to their lack of ability. Fair enough. I mean, I was probably going to let go of Suarez anyway. Any Hall of Famers this year? Yes, Garrett Cole, who finished in the 3,000 strikeout club. Pirates legend, Garrett Cole. All right, let's see. So I had a weaker record this year. I have no staff members to worry about. You guys need a third base coach. Who had Boston sweeping their first year? Nobody, hopefully. Ryan Dunbar. Looks to be the best available here. Hey, I suck. I'm retiring, basically. So now's the time that you guys have to make some decisions here. Again, at catcher, you do have Tyrone Ray, who, next year's a low-end option. You could bring in Gary Sanchez just on a one-year deal, $1.7 million, to have a somewhat serviceable backup, because without him, you really don't have a backup. Like, Jeff Long's not going to be ready anytime soon. I mean, you could use your spring training signing to get another catcher, but if you don't want to risk it, then Gary Sanchez is the guy to sign, just to be like, we have a backup. What do you guys think? Do you want to keep Gary Sanchez just to make sure you have a backup catcher next year? Obviously, he's not great, but it is basically a pure depth role just to make sure you have somebody on the roster. You have $69 million in projected surplus. All right, Chad seems on board with that. Clay Holmes. Same story as Sanchez. He's cheap as hell too. You might as well. He's cheap as hell. That's not even a question, to be honest. With Clay Holmes, just do the cheap shit. Do the cheap shit. Get him for dirt cheap till his career's over. $600K. There you go. Now we get into the big three. First up, 33-year-old Gavin Lux, who you guys tried to let go through a qualifying offer last year. Nobody took him on. Over 4 years now on this team, and he has been fantastic for you guys. In terms of what he wants, mid to high teens, depending on the year. Qualifying offer is $22.7 million. Again, nobody wanted him last year. It'd be a pretty big risk to qualify him. He's 33. You could do a 1+1, a 2+1, just an outright 2-year deal. If you wanted to do a 2+1 and be able to opt out for next year, 2+1 seems to be the way to do. So that'd be a 3-year deal on the 2+1. Let's see how much money that would be to be a decent little offer. Max interest would still be like $20 million plus. If you take away that club option, then obviously, but you don't necessarily want to take away the club option if you're giving him that 3rd year. So to get that, and that's as far up as his interest will go. With that club option, 19.8 is about the best you can do for a 2+1 contract with Gavin Lux. What do you guys think? Or do you want to negotiate different terms? What does a 2 with no option look like? In terms of max interest, maximum interest you can get is right there, 20.9. What's the deal for just into the green? 17.7. Again, you don't necessarily have to go with max interest, but if he declines it, then he's gone. You know, once he hits free agency, he counts just like everybody else. He doesn't count as a re-sign option. So, yeah, 17.7. How risky do you guys want to be? We have to bring him back in insane here. You guys got to make that choice. $2+1 at the max seems to be a popular vote. And again, that would be right there at 19.8. Taker, am not a bank, but if I would, I would if I could. All right, is that the one that we're going with here? The 2+1 for Gavin Lux after a great season. Is that the way? Obviously, you got to overpay him a little bit because he doesn't view you as a contender. So that doesn't help. Yeah, I was going to say at second base, if you let go of him, I mean, you got Kerry Mullen, who's going to be in the mid-60s. That's 2032. We're heading into 2031. So Mullen's not even ready. So, all right, looks like we're going for it. Gavin Lux is going to get that offer. Dylan Cease, 35 years old, still a 91. Big time inning eater. In terms of his numbers, I mean, he is incredibly effective. Super high strikeout rate. Whip is fantastic. Even the FIP rating is very solid over the past 4 years. So, for the record, he is looking for 20, mid-20. I mean, he's someone that you could risk qualifying. So, the qualifying offer is 22.7. Let's go talk about Yuri Perez first. Yuri wants mid to low 20s in terms of money, right? If you're going to pay Yuri Perez, you might as well just qualify Dylan Cease. And then, hey, if somebody takes him, you get compensation. If nobody takes him, you get him for a contract very similar to what he's asking for, if not cheaper. So my suggestion, sign Yuri Perez, qualify Dylan Cease. That makes the most sense to me, given what you'd be paying Dylan Cease anyway. And if he walks, then hey, you got compensation. Any disagreements? It's not looking like it. Okay. Dylan Cease will get that qualifying offer. The chat's going to look to keep Yuri Perez. The question is, chat, for how long? 3 years obviously brings him to age 30. 8 years brings him to age 35. You know, you could do the 8 with a club option, which would bring him up to age 34 and then potentially 35. You know, this is another contract that you could look to front load as well, or even just keep normal or back load at this point. Give him the classic A's front loaded deal. It'd be 22.7 a year on a 7+1 front-loaded contract. Are we sending it, chat? Are we sending it for Yuri Perez? You could also qualify Perez, but that depends on if you guys are sold. Again, high strikeouts. You know, ERA has been better over the last 2 years. Only thing that might be a little bit concerning, the FIP rates aren't elite. But any disagreements, chat? Or is Yuri Perez your guy? Going once on sending it. Going twice. Yuri Perez. All right, so offers to Perez, Gavin Lux, Holmes, and Sanchez just as depth, and then Dylan Cease gets the qualifying offer. Will be the deal there. For myself, Wilson Contreras, how much money do you want? Shit. I don't even think I need you, though, because I have Comstock. I got William Contreras still. I got Comstock. I got Moreno. I don't really need Wilson Contreras, at least not for that much money. So Wilson's going to go Wilmer Flores. $1 million. Do I need a first baseman? Not really. I could just play Edgar Sanchez there. Wilmer Flores is going to go for now, too. Luis Rengifo, $3.9 million. Holy shit, is that a steal of a contract? I can't believe I've had this guy for 5 years. He's hit 22 home runs in each of the past 4 years. And not the craziest like OPS in the world, but still $3.9 million for that. Yeah, we'll bring him back. Eugenio, Mr. Suarez wants over $1 million. Gio, dirt cheap at this point, but Christ, he fell off a cliff, didn't he? He fell off a cliff. Eugenio, I really don't need anymore. I got Miguel Perez. All right. I'm going to be saying goodbye to some of my longtime players here this offseason. Kim, again, has fallen off a cliff. 7 million. Jesus, you're out of your mind. Do I not have another shortstop? I don't, though. Christ, I'm going to have to overpay him. I'm probably going to have to overpay him, unless it'll play Rengifo or Torres at short. I think that's what I'm going to have to hope for. I cannot pay Ha-Seong Kim $7 million a year anymore. So he's another one that's going to be gone. And then for the pitchers, Alzolay is looking to be dirt cheap now, which is good. Very, very good, Mr. Alzolay. Please take that contract. Kodai Senga in your 7.0 ERA. Yeah, you're gone. Luis Garcia, $11.8 million for the year. We'll take that. So some changes potentially for both of our teams. Let's get a look at free agency here. So you guys get that third base coach. Alzolay has come back for me. And for chat, everyone's back except for Dylan Cease. We'll see what happens with him. So free agency. Let's take a look at chat's team. Again, catchers right now, Tyrone Ray, Gary Sanchez. You can argue whether or not you want to target a catcher or just run with someone like Tyrone Ray for now. We'll see who's out there. But keep catchers in mind. First base, if you wanted a better backup, you know, it could be free agency, but let's be honest, spring training signing is probably the better way to go there. The second base is Gavin Lux. You could also use a backup second baseman. Third base is John Slaughter, who's fine. No secondary positions. Again, he's solid. He's nothing crazy. You don't have a backup behind him. Shortstop, Robert Spasato. He should be your shortstop. 323 average. He was great last year. Of course, in the outfield, Spencer Steer. Rafaela's there. Juan Soto. You're pretty much good in the outfield. And then in terms of the pitching, it's still the bullpen. Even if you lose Dylan Cease, it's still the bullpen that needs to be addressed. So let's see who's out there. Well, catcher was debated. Ethan Salas at 24 years old. You would have to give up the compensation pick. 32-year-old Alejandro Kirk. 28-year-old Harry Ford. 34-year-old Cal Raleigh. 29-year-old Kyle Teal. And it drops off from there. Options for sure. First base, Andrew Vaughn, Pete Alonso. Again, if you're looking for a depth first baseman, you could do it, but I don't think you will be. Second base, Andreas Jimenez, Venezuela. He's 32, but he's probably mine. Shout out to Deeds, 59 months. Good Lord. Deeds, thank you very much for the near 5 years worth of support. My goodness. 59 months. Let's see, there's Willie Castro, Luis Arraez. Man, Luis Arraez turned into a beast. Sheesh. Goodness. Short or third base, Brady House. Edmundo Sosa. Brian Hayes. Isaac Paredes. Sterling Thompson. Deeds, how you been, by the way, though? Thank you again. Shortstop, you got Colson Montgomery, Jordan Lawler. Mason Wynn at 29 years old. You stay away from the Rocchio. The Rocchio. He's mine. Ooh, Oswald Peraza. I got some options this year. Tyler Black. The wrestler? And then Kim at shortstop. Warrior, I know, it's beautiful, isn't it? And then, of course, you don't need outfielders, but Alex Verdugo, Jake Bowers, center field is Jason Dominguez, Drew Gilbert at 30, Manuel Rodriguez, Dylan Cruz, and in right, Jarren Duran, Dominic Fletcher, and Zach Veen. Chat, what are you thinking? I've seen catcher mentioned quite a bit. Obviously, Salas would be the home run shot. 28-year-old Harry Ford's also a pretty good option. Kyle Teal. Obviously, the issue with Salas is he is qualified, so you'd have to give up that compensation. People are liking the looks of Harry Ford. For the record, Ford wants about $20 million a year. Salas wants big money. Salas wants big money. Hockey Kid, typically it's losing a second or a third round pick. Is Harry Ford going to be chat's target? No, he is not, because right now you can't afford it. At least not yet. You're actually not going to be able to afford anything until you know what's going to come up with Dylan Cease. Well. And even if you get Dylan Cease, you're not going to have much money. Ooh. That Yuri Perez front load offer might not have been the wisest. So chat's going to have to wait. That we know. Dylan Cease has no offers on him yet either. There's also going to be, $22.7 million in projected offers. And you still have to re-sign a lot of these guys here. Chat could be in a bit of a weird spot. It could be. That Gavin Lux contract, amongst others, might prove to be pretty problematic. But we do have to get all of your prospects re-signed. And we'll see what the money situation is like from there. But it's, as you guys get a look at the pending offers there, this is going to be close. This is going to be close. And again, you can't backload like these 1-year prospect deals either. So this Dylan Cease situation could be problematic. Very problematic. Yikes. Fire sale. I mean, we will be able to set up your trade block to see if there are any takers. Can we backload the Ford deal? I can check to see what that would look like. Yes. Arbitration, not going to worry about any of them. In terms of the 40-man, you need to get Menard on there. Conrad, you don't have to worry about Whitfield, Blade. Okay, you're good from there. For the record, with the Ford deal, backloading it in its current form is just enough. So it right now, though, you really cannot afford Ford. You need to see if Dylan Cease gets signed by somebody. Like, you desperately need somebody to take Dylan Cease. Let's see, for myself here. Good old Will Comstock. A lot of my younger guys are being added to the 40-man now. Sam Valley. Just Manzanillo. No first name, just Manzanillo. None of those other guys are mine except for Ikeda. So you guys are going to have to wait and then kind of see who's left. You might not be able to get another big signing. Might not happen. Let's see, Mr. Comstock, got to sign you. Robert Oka. Edgar Sanchez needs to come back. Rodriguez. Tommy Tran. Pena wasn't mine. 29 overall. Leo Chacon was mine, actually. He's shit, but I did draft him. Frank Reyes. Third base, Miguel Perez. Garrett Gentry. Ryan Park is mine. Is Carlos Gonzalez. Carlos Gomez, not Carlos Gonzalez. Her name wasn't there. Sam Valley. Sign you. Daniel Chavez. Venable and Dearden aren't mine. We got Gehringer and Anthony Chow. Right? Domingo Fernandez and Richie Molina. We got for pitchers Marvin Duarte. Sign Ikeda. David Chang. Jason Suzuki. Barry Cox. Still love that they got a player from Venezuela named Barry Cox. David Valdez, Miguel Rodriguez, Duncan Del Villar, Enrique Gomez, and Cameron Yamaguchi. So for me, it's a lot of depth signings. Free agency, what the hell do I even need? We've been focused heavily on your team. I certainly don't need a catcher. I mean, a better first baseman wouldn't be too bad. Casillas isn't terrible. There's debate over a shortstop, although I'd like to think it would play Rengifo or Torres there. Outfield. Ugh. Outfield is definitely an issue. Who the hell are the best players for me here that are actually available? Shout out to Catcher for the 54 months. Went to casino for the first time. Lost $20 in 15 minutes and walked right out of there. That's a good night at the casino when you can walk out in 15 minutes. I'm doing good, though, man. I'm doing good. Someone else who also doesn't like to gamble, I understand. So Andreas Jimenez, great player, but he is 32 and 7-time Gold Glove winner at this stage. In fact, he's 32 kind of sucks. There's 30-year-old Brian Rocchio at shortstop. Brian might have to be my guy. There's also shortstop Oswald Peraza. And it certainly seems like I'm going to have to go with a shortstop here. Because Reyes is 33. There's certain players I like, but they're just a bit too old for my team right now. No doubt in my mind, it's going to be one of those shortstops. It's got to be. Wario, it's a good look. You have my full support. Rocchio's a switch hitter. Tough not to go with him. 756. Oof. Peraza's been a beast at the plate. How much does Peraza want? 16? Rocchio wants 12. Ah, bitch. It's got to be Rocchio. But then again, he's not better defensively. Switch hitting and cheaper versus a better hitter. Statistically, although Rocchio's much more well-rounded. Peraza's a beast of an outfielder, too. Shit. With Peraza. Yeah, I'm looking at over 16 mil. Rocchio, Pinocchio. He's $3 million cheaper. Oh, Brian, I choose you. I choose you. Let's front load this bad boy. So we know chat's going to have to wait. I do need to see if there's a starter available for me. Or I'll look at relievers too while I'm here. Nobody yet. Is it just me or is that glove fucking huge? Jesus. Anyway. I got nobody available. Shout out to Warrior for the old gifted sub. To Sea Blue. Columbia. Luis Patino. Alright. Is there a starter? Paul Skeens is out there. Long fingers, I guess so. Fucking E.T. over here. Have a good starter, Warrior, with another gifted sub. Incredible kindness and generosity, unlike this game right now, which is giving me nothing. So Luis Patino. I need you to be my man here. I need it. 4.2 a year, Luis. So those are my two targets this year, Brian Rocchio and Luis Patino. We'll see what happens for chat in terms of the big question, which is what the hell is going to happen with that $22 million of Dylan Cease?